All right, I'm going to be reviewing the Apogee Symphony IO audio interface. And a little bit of a backstory, my first interface was an Apogee Duet. It's a two-channel, pretty small audio interface. I then got an Universal Audio Apollo Twin because of all the different plugins that were available on it. And this was the Silverface version a while back. And at that point, Universal Audio didn't have any kind of native plugins. If you wanted to use Universal Audio plugins, you had to actually buy the interface back then. And so at that point, I got the Apollo Twin and was using the plugins. It was fantastic. It was really good. It used up a lot of DSP though. And I got to this point in my studio journey where I knew that I wanted to route more flexibly and be able to have analog inserts and hardware and all that good stuff. And so I was looking into what's the next jump from there. I had the Apollo Twin, it sounded good. But in my kind of vision of mixing, I knew that I wanted to have analog gear, and I knew that was a big part of what I wanted to do in the future. And so I wanted to get an audio interface that would kind of be a little bit more future proof, that would allow me to integrate more of a hybrid workflow so that I could use things digitally, I could use things with analog gear as well, and that it could kind of be something to build upon. And I knew actually after having the Apollo Twin that I wanted to go back to Apogee. And, Universal Audio has their own 8-channel interface, and I ended up with the Symphony IO, and this is an 8x8 interface. So there's 8 inputs and 8 outputs via DB25. And the reason why is I remember making that switch from Apogee to Universal Audio at that first transition. And I actually liked the conversion better, digital to audio and digital to analog and analog to digital. I liked the conversion better on the Apogee. And when I had the Universal Audio, I didn't like it as much. And so I knew that I wanted to get better conversion. And especially because I wanted to print a lot of different tracks and use analog inserts, Apogee was going to be the way to go. I've had this for about 5 years, and it's all connected via USB. That's literally how old my computer is. I have a really old MacBook, but I did some upgrades to it, and it's running very strong. And so I have 8 inputs, 8 outputs, and this audio interface has just had no problems, honestly, since I've had it. It's worked really great. Obviously Universal Audio now has native plugins, and so it all worked out. And at the end of the day, you want an audio interface that's just gonna give you the best fidelity, obviously, in A to D and D to A conversion. And then you want something that's gonna help you maximize your creativity. And the Apogee Symphony checks the boxes for both of those for me. I love the conversion both ways, A to D and D to A. And especially if any of you are more audiophile folks, the D to A conversion is extremely important, as you want that conversion to be really clear on your speakers. And I'm extremely pleased at how this sounds, the conversion from digital to analog to my ATC speakers. Like, it's just been phenomenal. And so if you're into audiophile kind of gear, you've definitely come across the importance of having good D to A conversion. And the Apogees, they're known for that. They're in studios all around the world, specifically for their conversion, and you can really hear the difference. And when you have to print tracks over and over through EQs and compressors, and you need the analog to digital conversion, you need to have good conversion there as well. And the Apogee Symphony, I've just been really happy about it. I got this for a really good deal. It was like $900 on Reverb. And so if you want to start using analog gear into your workflow, I highly recommend trying to get something with good conversion and more inputs and outputs, because it allows you to try and use things like parallel drum compressors, in a hardware version, or EQs, or mix bus treatment. It just kind of gives you a lot of flexibility. And going back to that thought of creativity, you want to do something that feels fun, that feels like your version and your vision of mixing. And for me, like, a hybrid situation has always made sense. It's always what I wanted for mixing, and the Apogee Symphony allows me to do that. So that's my review. Honestly, it's very unfussy. It works very well. I've had no problems with it, and could not be happier with just how it sounds. And so thanks again for watching. And if you like this video, please hit the like button, and please hit the subscribe button if you want to stay in tune for some more content. And yeah, thanks for watching.